So, should you take out a funeral plan? And that's a great question. With funeral costs already high and set to increase, more and more people are opting for a funeral plan insurance. My name is Roger Borden, and in this video I want to talk to you about the pros and cons of funeral plans. I firmly believe in them, my family have them, and in this video I want to explain why. First though, I want to cover the downsides. There are costs which some plans do not cover, such as funeral notices, the order of service sheets, embalming, burial plots, a headstone or memorial, and the flowers and catering and other costs of a wake. But most plans provide you with £1,000 or so to cover such costs, and the plans need to be paid in full if you need to use them within the first year of taking them out. However, you will get back the money you've already paid, so you'll be no worse off than if you hadn't taken the plan out in the first place. Now let's look at the positives. Funeral plans are nowhere near as expensive as people think. Most people are amazed when they discover the funeral plans only need to cost them a few pounds a week. Funeral plan insurance can cover the increases in funeral expenses, so whatever the increase in the future, the plan will cover it. Remember, the increases in average funeral expenses are well outstripping inflation, and if you take a plan out, you pay for it at today's prices and nothing more. Avoiding cash flow problems at a time of need. If you can afford the premiums now, funeral plans can help cash flow problems for your family in bereavement. Even if you set money aside for your funeral, your family may not be able to access it in time to pay the bill, as often it will require probate before your estate can be accessed, meaning your loved ones will have to find the money out of their own pockets first. The money you've paid towards your funeral plan is exempt from inheritance tax, which is helpful if your estate is liable. Another bonus of buying a plan, rather than putting the money into a savings account, is your council cannot count it towards your estate value when you're being assessed for care home fees. Some plan providers will carry out the funeral even if the plan has not been paid for in full, providing that at least 1 year of contributions has been made. Another benefit is that most funeral plans do not require any type of checkup or health information. All you do is simply sign up and you're covered, and that only takes a matter of a few minutes. With a funeral plan, you choose the funeral director, so your family can organise a suitable funeral. Plus, you select the solicitors you want to handle your final arrangements, define your funeral wishes, such as who the pallbearers should be, the music you want played, who you want to read the poems and the eulogies, and so on. There's also no need to use your life insurance. A funeral plan covers all the basic expenses, which means you're leaving more in your estate for your loved ones. To pay for your funeral plan, and also that of your spouse, can save you considerably on inheritance tax. Let's say a funeral plan costs you £3,000 overall. You've reduced the asset value of your estate by that £3,000, which at a 40% in inheritance tax means you are saving a whopping £1,200. An at-need funeral, which is one that's not been organised and paid for in advance, means that your loved ones have to organise your funeral for you. So they have to work out what they think you would have liked, and it's at these times funeral directors can make considerably more money because those in distress will often pay over the odds to ensure their loved ones get the best of send-offs. Your friends and relatives will never go into debt to pay for your funeral. A funeral plan means they need to pay little or nothing, as the bulk of it has already been paid for in advance. Some plan providers will also pay around £1,000 to cover the extra expenses that may not be covered in the plan. The fundamentals of whether you want a cremation or a burial, what type of coffin you would want, whether you want a green funeral or not, all of these things can be determined in advance and avoid family disputes where one party is saying it should be dealt with one way and other parties are saying differently. Best of all, you'll have the simple peace of mind, knowing you're going to get exactly what you want. It's already been paid for, and you'll be taking all the emotional stress and financial pressures from the loved ones left behind. They'll not have to worry, wondering what you would have liked in terms of the music, the readings, the flowers, the type of coffin, as well as the fundamental consideration of whether you should be buried or cremated. There'll be no need for them to trudge down to the funeral director's office at this emotional time to go through everything in minute detail. You would have decided it all, planned it all in advance, and with a single phone call to the funeral director, that's all that needed for your loved ones to get everything underway. A funeral plan is one of the most thoughtful and caring things you can do for your loved ones, and believe me, they really will thank you for it. I'm Roger Borden of City and Country Estate Planning, and in this video I've tried to explain why a funeral plan could be right for you. I hope you can now see how important a funeral plan is. I firmly believe in them, and I have one myself. If you want to know more, then you can contact me. I'm Roger Borden at City and Country Estate Planning. My email address is roger@ccep.london, or if you prefer, you can phone me directly on 07958 221460, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.